What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town.
Damn.
They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. It is Saturday, and we got a full team here. Yeah!
Wow, on a Saturday.
We got a Joe Ponton, we got a Sweet Dennys, we got a Ryan Beckett, and we got a Vickie. I am Jay Burt, and let's get into it. Vickie, by the way, are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you. But if I start coughing, you'll know why.
Yeah, just, you know what, cough, I don't give a shit. I'm always around germs. If you work at a radio station, it's gross all the time, Beckett. It ain't like that horse world. I'd rather be around horse shit than radio germs.
I think horse weather helps because you're outside. Maybe it gives you that.
I never
D
thought of
blast.
radio as dirty.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
because
gosh.
you haven't worked in radio.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
The people.
There's
are
a big
filthy.
underbelly of it.
Radio is.
It's the overbelly.
It is. It's first of all, it is.
It's not even hidden.
It's an overbelly.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. We do a lot of stuff, so the room's always exposed to things, and then we clean very minimally because you're there for work.
But not only that, radio jobs, it brings out a weird element. It just brings out some weird people. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But shit gets weird.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got overnight people who are a completely different walk of life.
I mean, if you work in radio, you always know overnights are the fucking weirdos. They are the ones that they take your food. They're jerking off everywhere.
The food definitely.
Back in the day, I should say, allegedly. This is all allegedly. I don't want someone coming
I'm
at
sure
me.
in the history of overnight,
Trust me,
definitely been.
when I worked back at across the street, that's now our competition, there was a guy who got fired for watching porn all the time, and I am convinced he was just jacking off all over the place.
That was before video, obviously, right?
It was before video,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there would be. It was my first year in radio, and I'd be walking to the bathroom, and I'd see all these memos, and the memos would be, "Please stop watching porn at work. It's not right. Blah blah blah. ... Got to stop watching porn." And he kept doing it. He wrote.
He's like, this one's not addressing me.
He wrote it too hard, Dennys. He flew too close to the sun, and he got fired. And he was a weird guy.
But what are you gonna do if you're a disc jockey type personality, and you have certain bits, and there's a lot of music you're playing, and you're just sitting there. Say you come in witching hour, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. What else are you gonna do?
Other than what?
That.
Jerk off everybody?
Read a book, Beckett.
I don't think it's excusable, Beckett.
No, it's fair enough.
They should be.
But you can't give them a tough time about searching for stuff on the internet, can you?
You can't search for porn on the company.
Do that
What
when
if
you
it's
get
his
home.
laptop?
It's still going to be the company server.
Got it.
Do it when you get home.
Yeah, I mean, if you cannot wait to watch porn until you get home, it's like, I remember one time I was in the McDonald's drive-thru line, and there was a guy in front of me watching porn in the drive-thru. Homie, if you can't wait till you get home, we got issues, and you got an addiction, Danny.
Totally.
That's a guy that's like dopamine hits. Chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, he's doing it all at once.
Am I the only one here that's seen porn out in public?
No, I think I've seen it too. I've seen it through windows too, walking past people's houses where you're like, close the blinds, right?
There's a
think they want it
There's a
like
clip
that.
on the YouTube where this creepy guy's in a public library, and someone's filming him, but he doesn't know he's being filmed. He is filming on his creepy looking phone.
It's like an old phone too.
It's an
right?
old phone.
So it's even
hilarious.
creepier.
He's filming stuff on the community library of these chicks in bikinis,
And he's snapping photos and scrolling through and filming it.
and they catch up to him, and he realizes he's being caught, taking library porn. I kind of felt bad for him for a second
Well,
because
he goes, all right, sorry, I'll stop, I'll leave. He does that type of gesture. You're like, yo, bro.
Vickie, you look disgusted.
No, I'm just thinking, I used to do a show over in that same studio, and it was Sunday night, so there was only one person there, the guy that ran the WJNO booth, and everything else was automated.
That's
and I'm
ironic.
Say, we didn't watch porn. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, wow.
What year is this?
2007.
All right, I'm not trying to dox anybody, but I think we are talking about the same motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That is. There's a lot of that goes on at radio stations.
Well, how about the guy that's a CNN legal expert that it was a correspondent for the New York Times and was in a inter-office Zoom meeting, and Jeffrey Toobin. It's called being now. I call
Lubin
it
Toobin.
pulling a Toobin. He got
Oh,
suspended
no.
because his coworkers saw him bored on Zoom and go over in the corner and
So we're talking about it's still work hours. The meeting was just wrapping up, and he was already getting ready to flog the dolphin. So that means the last 15 minutes of that meeting, all he was thinking about was just jerking off.
Oh my god.
He's not thinking about the schedule, the fall schedule that's coming up. He's thinking about jerking at Denny's.
Well, so my wife's in the chat room. She's reminding me of a time we were getting paint from a paint store, and all of a sudden through the music that there was a music playing overhead, and all of a sudden through the speakers there was porn playing. You could hear, and the manager runs out of the room and runs to the bathroom. The kid accidentally connected to the Bluetooth speaker, which was the sound system there, and he went in the bathroom to watch porn. And so, but then he came out and had to sell us paint.
that is hilarious.
So we had to just buy paint and pretend, but it was a big deal because the guy ran out and then he called him dumb. He's like, "Bro, you can't be doing that."
Did he call him out in front of y'all?
No, he pulled him in the back room, but it had a giant glass window to the back area, so we couldn't hear him, but you could see the. And then he came out and sold his paint. It was the weirdest. It was horrible.
So he was clearly jerking it in the bathroom. And then he
Until
comes
this
out and
manager
sucks.
started slamming his hand on the door and told him to get out.
I hope he wore gloves when he gave you the paint.
He definitely shook the paint. Yeah, it was incredibly embarrassing. Well, there's a situation where I didn't do anything embarrassing, yet I was so embarrassed in that situation.
It's kind of like when you ever been out in public with a bunch of people and there's a couple there, and maybe you're at a dinner party or something, you're having dinner, and the couple gets in this uncomfortable fight
yeah.
in front of everybody. Now, I didn't do anything wrong, but I am so embarrassed for what's going on. It's the worst kind of feeling when you see someone yelling at each other and it gets awkward, and they're like, "Fuck you, Ryan."
That's the case for all. That's how all the single people in the room feel. All the guys that are in like long-term relationships are like, yeah, it makes them look way crazier than whatever they have going
yeah.
on. So they almost kind of like seeing someone melt down.
Vickie, you ever get into a public fight with a mate in front of people?
Not me, but I've gone out with Bobby Joe and her husband plenty of times.
It doesn't make you uncomfortable when it gets.
Yep.
You're just like on your phone. All right.
Yep. I'm just trying to look like I'm not actually at the table, even though I'm sitting right there across from them.
It's the worst. I hate it so much. There was one time I was watching. We were at Duffy's, and it was a big football thing, and the guy's football team was losing, and he was being a real cock to everybody. And his wife called him out, and then they started fighting in front of everybody, and he was real drunk. He said, "My team's losing." Oh, it was awful. Everyone got quiet.
Yeah, so couple fights bother other people. Indiscreetly looking at porn doesn't bother anyone, right? So I would say that the first is way more annoying for society. It's way worse of a thing
What's that? You
for
mean-
people to like
Argue publicly than it is for people to watch porn
discreetly
by themselves.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got no issue. I'm not throwing moral grenades over here about porn.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you have to watch porn out in public, if you're getting a fucking McChicken and you still got to go to Pornhub, you got to reel it in and look within.
That's
Yo,
fair.
get home. Yeah. There's a place and time.
You got to look within. I mean, you can't wait 20 minutes unless your sick thing is, I'm going to McDonald's.
Some people
parking
have
lot.
the public thing. They like the
Oh,
public
of course. Oh yeah.
Well,
That's it.
Never been into it. It gives me anxiety.
There's already so much pressure as it is.
Right.
Now we have an audience.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Stage fright.
All right, Vickie, we're being called out.
Oh, good.
All right. Why is Bird always lying about his ghosts? That's the first part of the email. He says he has this orange flame-looking ghost running across his floor. Now, we did talk about that last week, how the energy, that ball of energy, kind of the best way I could describe it is it reminds me of a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of a thing.
All right.
Just for
It was a good, you
context
painted
here.
the picture.
Thank you, Dennys. He says he has this orange flame-looking ghost running across his floor. Give me a break. And how does Vickie know any of this is real? She just enables his lying by lying herself. I will be listening again because I love hearing people lie and make fools of themselves. I have a psychic prediction. You guys aren't going to ever see shit because ghosts aren't real. Devin from Wellington, Florida. Vickie, I'll have you go ahead and...
Well, first of all, I would never accuse you of lying. There's no reason for you to lie to me. I am not like trying to get you on a show or anything like that. You know, that time has passed. That was completely taken by surprise. I didn't know we were going to catch anything on film. And I'm not going to say, oh, no, you didn't see it. Energy can be seen. You can visibly see energy. So there's no reason why that you couldn't have seen what you saw.
Yeah, I get it. I think you should always question anybody with a microphone. I really do. I think anyone that's talking to the public, you can't take anything at face value. You got to really kind of dig deep a little bit. And hey, is Dennys a lying dick face? Is Beckett a
Lying dick face.
Yeah, an untruthful tit.
All right, I see what you're doing here.
All right, yeah.
And the thing is, he'll never see anything because he'll always come up with a bullshit excuse for it. And the thing is, it's like you have to, everything, when it comes to evidence and things like that, I look at it with a critical eye to find a logical. But when the logical doesn't exist, that's where the paranormal, if it's not normal, it's paranormal. If it's not natural, it's supernatural. And that's after I've exhausted everything. I can't exhaust your claim on seeing that ball of energy because I wasn't here.
But you and I have worked enough together to where you know there's shit going on.
Right.
So if at least my track record for me, for our relationship, you know that if I'm telling you something, I'm not, at this point, like you're saying, I don't need to pad my stats.
I mean, honestly, if anybody were to see a ball of energy that looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, it would be you.
And
It's
again,
just logical.
I don't want people to think I'm seeing a hedgehog. It's
Well,
just,
for sure.
It reminds you.
Yeah, it's just like a type
spinning,
of.
yeah.
It's kind of like just a quick, almost not even spinning, but like just kind of like a gliding ball of energy. The best way I could describe it would be a quick car wash kind of a situation into that hamper or the closet area over there,
Right.
where you think there's a portal. Now,
Correct.
you did a walkthrough here today. I asked you to do that. What were your thoughts?
Well, the portal is still there.
Woohoo! Go
Yeah,
Saudi!
you're maintaining it real nice.
Nice, all right.
When I went around the corner into your living space, I got a headache as soon as I crossed into the living space. And then I went around your table, and in that corner, there's something that stands there and watches you. And it does like this kind of thing.
So,
Like it's studying you.
describe that to our audience if they're only doing the audio.
It just basically tilts its head to the right and observes, and then tilts its head to the left to observe,
Creepy.
like you would if you're trying to figure out, like a dog does sometimes when you make that noise.
Like you would if you were Michael Myers killing a victim and then admiring
Right.
your work. Got
Exactly.
ya.
Yeah.
Now, when you sense that, evil or just curious in nature, wants to chill, just watch me sleep and shit?
Regular stuff.
Curious, and I don't necessarily think it's human.
I don't feel like the Sonic thing's human. It couldn't be, right? If it's a ball of energy floating around, that's not human, right?
It could be. It could be. Human entities can manifest themselves in different ways. Shadows, even like mist, balls of energy, things like that. I mean, it happens all the time.
Beckett, you hear words and phrases like mist, balls of energy, Sonic the Hedgehog. Thoughts?
So Dennys and I, being the skeptics, like we actually tend to lean in on the energy thing. So that sounds very realistic to me. I've seen weird things that, don't define a ghost, but like, that you see like a little bit different hue and something moving that's confusing, whatever. So I think that of most things, I'm not skeptical of this.
Dennys, you hear tales of.
So are you referring to elementals, kind of, if you're saying that they represent different, mist or fire or...
It's like Captain Planet.
Well,
Right?
humans.
Pretty much.
Well, humans though can present themselves as energy, mist.
Whoa.
See,
Our audience.
audio.
We're going to start Dave Chappelleing cell phones.
Yes. Go on, Vickie.
so they can present. It just depends on how much energy they have, and that is going to determine what form they're going to manifest in.
And if someone doesn't know what that is in layman's terms, what is that?
I thought that was pretty layman's terms.
Even more.
Okay. If you are a spirit, you do not generate your own energy. You have to get it from something. You can get it from humans. You can get it from electricity, electronics, things like that. So depending on how much you've absorbed and maintained will determine how you can manifest or how you want to manifest, depending on what kind of spirit you are.
If you wanted to manifest a ghost, let's say, it's a Saturday night, you got nothing going on, you get a couple wines in, you go, hey, I want to manifest I don't know, a bearded man. Could you do that if you wanted to, or is that too?
That crosses the line to me to summoning something, and I don't.
You ain't about that.
No, I'm about. I'm about. If there's something here, talk to me. I'm not about. Let's join hands, have a seance, and call specifically. A bearded man.
I'm glad you just brought that up because that is one of the questions for Ask Vickie. Not bearded man, but asking questions.
All right.
It's time for summer. Ask Vickie. Ask Vickie. All right.
What a low budge song.
Oh, no. You're right, though. We just got the studio up. We're going to make you a theme song. We are. We're
Yeah,
gonna
we
make you a
just
theme
got
song.
that
You
thing
deserve-
going.
Damn it, you've earned it.
Okay.
Ask Vickie, is it okay to talk to your ghosts? If you have a ghost, is that considered investigating the ghost if you are talking to it? I know you're against sometimes investigating your own ghost.
You're at home, yes.
Yeah. So is it okay to talk to them, and is that considered a level of investigating?
It's a level of investigating. You can go anywhere you want to speak to whomever that's there. It's a fine line when it comes to your home because you're actively communicating, so that's basically an unwritten invitation.
But aren't you kind of a dick face if you kind of ignore the ghost too? Like, yeah, you ain't nothing.
He's like, fine, bro.
Yeah, you ain't nothing to me.
Cold shoulder.
Yeah, cold shoulder. I ain't down with that. I don't want to be a dick to the ghost.
I mean, it just depends on your definition. The thing is, you are not only giving them energy, but you're giving something else that may be more parasitic energy by actively talking to a spirit.
But let me ask you this, because there's many people I know that listen to this podcast that talk to their dead loved ones. They hear they hear
That's different. That's somebody who's there in visitation.
How is that different? What if you don't know if it's your mom or not, and you just know that there's a spirit, you feel there's something, and you just start talking to it? How is that different than? I mean, see where the fine line's at?
Well, the fine line, if your intention is that you think you're talking to your mom, that's your intention, and you're talking to somebody who is not earthbound. The danger comes in when you communicate with somebody that's earthbound and giving them that invitation to stay in your home.
But what if you, and I'm not trying to be argumentative here, but what if you think there's spirit there, you're not sure.
I mean, it happens. In
you're not
fact,
sure it's your mom or not, but you might, or your dad or whatever, you feel like it could be. And a natural, peaceful reaction would be, hey, mom, hey, dad, I think you're here, but let's say you have good intention with your heart, you want to do that. Are you saying that's a bad thing to do?
Well, I'm saying if you think you are talking to somebody who's there in visitation, that's fine. Unfortunately, there may be somebody there who's mimicking. In fact, not me, but there are several people in the paranormal field that believe there's no such thing as a child spirit. So often, a sketchier kind of spirit will disguise themselves as a child to get you to talk to them, to get you to have that communication. The more you communicate, the more power they have, the more energy they have to feed off of, and the stronger they get.
It's like the time I was doing the Ouija board at the old apartment where the murder thing happened, and we were talking to the Ouija board. Now, one of the people that was doing the Ouija board with me, I don't really trust them. So that let's throw that out there. But there was this spirit that kept coming named AZ. AZ kept on saying, "Who are you?" AZ. And I remember talking about AZ on the air, and other people were calling in and texting and saying, oh my gosh, the same experience happened to me. And what AZ was doing was posing as my brother, saying, I'm your brother, I got hit by a car, or I'm about to get hit by a car, blah, blah, blah. Can a spirit come through a Ouija board and talk as someone who is alive? And act like it was basically saying, I'm your brother, I'm dead, but he wasn't dead yet.
Yeah, that's very unusual if they pretend to be someone who's actually alive. That was just a lower level spirit messing with you.
And not very good at their craft. It's like, my brother's alive,
Well, I
dude.
said lower level.
Yeah.
They didn't
Say,
reach
like-
advanced.
Like
He's
an
the
opening.
JV of ghosts.
Like
Yes.
he's just started doing comedy. He's like the worst.
So you
he was
said
bombing.
some bad spirits will pretend to be kids in
Yes.
order to trick you. Doesn't Bird have a small girl that follows him house to house? Could that be a deceptive?
It could be. I'm not one of those people that subscribes to the fact that you can't have a child spirit. The only logic that anyone has ever come back that try to explain why we don't have children spirits is that God would not do that. He would not leave a child earthbound. And my counter to that is, well, he let them die in the first place. Look at all the other things that happen on this earth that are horrific. Why would he not let a child stay earthbound? So if that's your only argument as to why we can't have a child, that one doesn't hold water for me.
I'm completely with you. It's almost as if people are cherry picking certain things to support whatever they believe.
Right.
And one of the worst things I always hate when something horrific happens to a child, and then someone comes at me with, "Well, it was God's plan." It's tough for me to swallow that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, well, why? You know, why can't? If God helped Marino win that one Dolphins game back in the '80s, why can't he?
Right.
Save a kid.
Yep.
I'm making a
Yeah,
dumb.
for sure. A crazy comparison.
It's an odd thing what we pick and choose to support our theories.
But
Sure.
going back to the original hate mail, I would not be a paranormal investigator at all if I poo-pooed everything that someone said to me. Then I would just be going around as a skeptic to everybody's house saying, "Oh, you didn't see this. This was what it was. This, that." That's not what I am. I need to investigate to see if that happened, if there's a logical explanation, and if not, then it's paranormal.
You could be called Dickie Ghost Hunters. Like, you didn't
Hey.
see nothing. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's part of the job description. I have open mind. Like she said, she usually approaches jobs like with her investigations, at least what I remember you explaining, with like kind of a the word's not adversarial, but like you actually approach it with a not a skeptical, but
Right.
like,
I'm trying to find the logical. I'm
Right.
trying to find a reason that something happened other than paranormal.
right.
And over, I've had cases where there was a spirit visiting, but you know what? The girl's husband was molesting their child. That's why that spirit was there.
To protect.
Yeah. So they were there for that. That was that was not paranormal. I've gone to places where the people had a major drug problem, and I had to say, "Listen, your problem's not a ghost. You need to go to rehab."
What a great concept for a movie that would be where ghosts, they don't want to cross over to the other side because they're here to protect
Oh, that's
children.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying with the script, you could make it to where, your own thing, but like, cross over. No, I have to protect the kids. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that's real
Get
good.
Nicolas Cage involved.
and Vickie just doesn't listen though. She also kind of triangulates. Like she does background on the house, like she does EVPs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all like meshed up with what your client's telling you.
It's almost as if you're two different people. You're a ghost investigator, but you're also a psychic medium. And then when they both meet in the middle, then we have a fucking ghost party.
Right.
Well, in the case of the one where the child was being molested, I knew before I ever stepped foot. I had a conversation with the woman on the phone. Something told me what was going on before I went there. It was my job to try to get that out of my mind and then actually investigate and come up with, I have that background with working with children for so long, and I have a minor in psychology, and I've had to call DCF in the past, working in the school system, and what to look for in a molestation case. So I had to take everything that was going on and use a little bit of this and a little bit of that and stick it all together to come up with the big picture.
I love it. Great stuff. I got another Ask Vickie question here. It kind of ties into exactly what we're talking about. At what age do children finally not automatically cross over to the other side? And I'm not even sure what you subscribe to, but you always hear children get a pass. They automatically go to the next side. When do they not start going to the other side? Is it when they stop being cute and kind of becoming assholes?
No,
18.
I think maybe
No,
growing.
there's that weird. There's that like between 8 and 9, they start to morph into little adults.
Yeah.
They're cute, but if they start becoming rude and annoying, you're like, "Fuck you, kid."
yeah.
I think that a child, there's a chance of them not crossing over at any age, whether they're 2 or they're 12. I know that some people have kind of blended because growing up, Baptist, we were told that under the age of knowing, which is you were able to comprehend that Jesus Christ is your Savior, if you were under that age, you automatically went to heaven, as it was called. So I think maybe they're thinking about some religious things that they learned.
I agree.
And combining it.
I agree because that's exactly what I heard growing
Yeah.
up. Oh, there was a certain age.
There was a certain age. As if you were cognitively able to comprehend that Jesus Christ is your Savior, you automatically, if you were under that age, you went to heaven. And otherwise, it would be your faith. Now that I'm older and I've seen what I've seen, I disagree with all of that, but that's another story.
Well, great job.
That was fantastic.
Vickie.
Yeah,
That was
very
great
informative.
stuff. I tell you what, a Saturday, I don't know, I kind of like reading whatever on a Saturday.
It's chill.
It is. It's very chill. Mr. Beckett, do you have any tech stuff today? If not, I can move on.
Come back to me. I have a couple stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the
yeah.
homework's not ready? Dog,
No.
get your homework.
We didn't do it last week, so I wasn't thinking. But I have a couple things. I'll pull it.
All right, so you're not ready for it.
I will be.
Okay, got it. Not today, though?
I know.
Okay, I got you.
After
All right.
this beer.
All right. Let's skip flavors here for a second. Thought this was kind of a whatever type of the weird emails here. It says, oh boy, did I not? Yeah, here we go. Dear Weird Whatever, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a red flag is this? I've been with my boyfriend for a little over a year. Out of the blue, he's developed a new kink. He likes when I play dead as we have sex. I went along with it because I don't want to be lame in bed, but now I'm starting to feel funny about it. He tells me it's just a weird kink and nothing more. He's great in every other way. He treats me wonderful. What do you guys think? Is this too much? I remember you guys talking about some other situation sort of like this. Thoughts, Lindsay?
How long have they been together?
A little over a year.
Okay, so he waited a whole year to pull it out of the closet.
Which proves my theory, by the way.
Okay.
You don't know somebody. Truly. I don't know if you ever really do know somebody.
And people can
No.
change, or
Yeah,
they can become
absolutely.
aware of something they weren't aware of.
I think all of that is true, but I think that's something that's been there for a minute.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
My problem more is that he hid it for that long because it was there somewhere.
Well, okay, let's examine this for a second.
But he'd get a
hid
tough
it-
time if he did it too early.
He hid it because he's probably ashamed of it because it's a fucking weird kink,
For
right?
sure.
I mean, it is weird. I don't think most people would go along with that.
No.
I know for a fact, just reading up on serial killers, there's been some that would do that in their fantasy world. So that makes you kind of think, all right,
Yeah, I think serial killer right away.
right off the bat. Now, I'm not saying that he is. Dennys, what are your thoughts? You hear something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's
We're not trying to kink shame.
so. I mean, a lot of people like all the horror podcasts and all the podcasts about murder and stuff. I mean, it's really maybe he's not a killer and that's just what he likes.
That's true. Some people like horror movies.
Oh, I
I
completely.
mean, not that watching a horror movie doesn't make you a killer.
Yeah.
Him liking porn, where I guess some of it's. I mean, it's not
Or
necessarily
necrophilia.
my
I mean-
thing. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of not my thing, but I mean, maybe that's what he's.
Isn't that called smut? Like that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, anything of the smut genre.
Yeah, I do think people can have crazy fetishes and not do it in real life. But I also think a lot of people who do have this kind of fetishes can. It's like anything, man. It's like a drug. You start to go a little bit here, and then you need a little bit more.
It's dopamine
And
hits.
you need a little bit more. And again, I'm not saying this person's a murderer because there's a great chance that they're not. But it is an out there kink where I could see it not being cool for everybody. I'm curious to see what the chat room says. Is this so over the top where you're out? Is this a deal breaker?
But you know what? You could look at it a different way. You could look at it the positive way is that he's finally so comfortable and secure in their relationship that he can go ahead and say that.
Well, if you love the guy, same situation. A year, you're really into this guy. You think this is, all right, this is pretty cool. And then he drops this bomb on you. Are you out or can you work with this?
Depends on how dead I have to be.
So dead. He wants it.
It might make it easy. You
So
can
like
take a
dead where
nap.
he makes no effort whatsoever for me because I'm dead?
He makes the effort. You look deader than anyone who's ever been dead before.
But some,
Eyes open. Like the whole
Yeah.
thing. The whole thing.
sometimes people have kinks for different reasons. Like we talked about the in public thing, right? So it's almost like kids, right? Like in a way, that because it is taboo, it's kinky for them and it's a turn on, right? It's almost if it was easily accepted, it almost maybe wouldn't be like hot for the guy anymore because it's so taboo. Some people like taboo for the sake of taboo, if that makes sense.
It does.
And
make sense.
if she came in, if she like flipped the script and like came to bed every night wanting to do it, he might probably just. It'd be flushed out of his system.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know about that.
Or how about if she says, pretend he's dead?
Yeah,
Flip it.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot with this. I think every situation
There's a lot to unpack, for sure.
is definitely different and specific. I do think people can have taboo fetishes and fantasies, never act out on them. Because to Beckett's point, I've just talked to people enough to know that where they go, vanilla porn's not my thing. I can't watch just two people have sex. There's got to be a guy with a clown mask jerking off with, feeding a donkey. I'm going to the most extreme kind of a thing
Right.
where, but does that mean they're going to do that in real life? I'm seeing a lot of deal breakers in the chat room, by the way. A lot of deal breakers.
Well, to me, just fundamentally, the deal breaker would be if I'm dead, then he's not trying to do anything to satisfy me. And how many nights in a row do you want to do that?
I think, too, if someone really is high into fetish, whatever it is, and the other person's sort of like, all right, yeah, I'll do it, Becky, because I love you, and Saturday night we're having some drinks. Yeah, you can do that. If it's every single time you're going to get down,
tiring.
it's tired. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and at least for me, it's not fun anymore. Like if I have a kink and the other person's not into it, it's not fun anymore.
Oh, that's why when I hear about 1956, I just got off the mill, make my dinner, and let's have sex, and the wife's not enjoying it,
Right.
it hurts my heart.
Yeah.
That's the sex where you're not into it, and it's a chore, and you got to get it done. That's the worst.
It's like the tango. It's got to be like all in unison, and you got to have rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
Becky
know?
get very poetic.
It's a dance, baby.
It is a dance.
It is a dance. The no pants
Yeah,
dance.
I don't know, y'all. I think people keep fetishes to themselves for the reason that a lot of people can't handle them. There is a reason for that. You know?
Yeah.
We're gonna act like, be honest all the time. Is honesty always the best policy? Is it?
No.
I don't think so.
I think
Not
a
in
lot
that
of times
situation.
You think you should keep that to yourself?
Yeah, there's some things you.
Beckett, keep it to yourself, or admirable that he was honest and got it out there.
Has to be honest about it. You have to be honest about it. Like, would you want to be with someone if they weren't honest about it? Like, whatever the situation. And I would be, like, I like there was a little, like, mental nuance, right? Like, even if they don't want to act on it, it's interesting to me, right? And I think that they have to be honest about it. If they kept it in, I think that's when bad things happen down the line.
They'll live a double life.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts, Dennys? Can you curb that? Let's say you do have a fetish that maybe potentially could lead to unhealthy stuff. Do you take the kind of perspective as a Beckett going, hey, it's my fetish, and I'm just kind of doing it, I'm working it through, or just because it feels good, does it mean you have to do it? Is there a form of discipline here at some level?
So in those cases, if that was the case, and a few people I presented it to have always been like, I don't know about that type of thing, I would then go onto some sort of forum or whatever, and I would try to find people into that same thing, and then work backwards from that. I feel
that's good.
the opposite way is more likely to shock than doing it that way. I think. I mean, that's what I would do if I was if that was my thing and I didn't want to budge from it.
You got that video game fetish, that VGF. I'm just kidding. Dennys does not have a fetish.
It's pretty fucked up, man.
If anybody here, I would say, has fetishes, it would be a Beckett and a Bird.
Totally. 100%.
All right.
Well, you guys are just so cute.
I'm afraid I sound creepy. I'm so sorry. Let's get a Joe Ponton up here. He told me a story this week. Again, when you get people going at the beach time at odd hours.
Oh, is he
witching
going to tell
hour.
the one he texted us?
Well, he texts us at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, motherfucker, most people are sleeping 6 a.m.
I wasn't. That was what I woke up to.
You're right. So you're on the beach, and you're a beach lover. You go there very early all the time.
It was about 5:30.
5:30 a. What did you see?
I thought I was the only person there because there wasn't a car anywhere near where I parked. I parked near Marcinski Road.
Is this Juno Beach area?
Juno Beach, Marcinski Dog Beach. I walk down, and there's a large blanket that two people stand up, and it's two guys, and one guy was at one guy's feet, and the other guy was at the other guy's feet, and their Slingin' Johnsons were up, and they just took off running.
Ain't nothing but a 69 party. Were they 69?
They were 69.
Because that's the
Clear as
text I
crystal.
got at 6:03 a.m. on a Sunday, which is the holy day, right? I get a
I woke up. I was like, "Holy shit! What the?"
we get a group text of y'all. I'm at the beach. I just saw two dudes 69, and then they ran off into the night.
I tried to get a photo. It was so freaking dark. I was like, "Damn it!
Well, the morning,
This is
I
my
should
interview
say.
time."
I don't think that was like a morning jog kind of situation for them. That had to have been at the end of the night.
Oh,
kind
that-
of
Oh yeah, they were
situation.
closing
Yeah, yeah.
shop.
They-
They were
they-
closing the deal at that
Oh,
point.
they were jerking and necking until about 4:30 a, and they finally
Yeah.
said, "You know what? Let's just
take this to the
69.
beach.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get it done."
Yeah.
What's
Sex on the beach.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen at the beach before? Because I've seen some weird shit too at the beach. I remember it was New Year's Eve, and as soon as the fireworks were going down, me and my buddies, we all speared each other into the water, into the ocean, kind of like a spiritual thing. But at the same time, there was this couple, and they were having the loudest sex. And I remember what the girl was saying. "Oh my God, this is amazing! Oh my God, what are you doing to me? Oh my God, fireworks in my pussy!" That's what she was saying.
Oh my god.
And we were "fireworks in my pussy" was a direct quote, and we're all going, "Oh my gosh, this is so weird." And then the next morning, I'm thinking maybe they were looking over at us and going, "Hey, wasn't that weird? All those dudes spearing each other into the ocean. Maybe we were the weird ones as well."
Yeah, true.
What's the weirdest thing you ever seen, Vickie, at the beach?
I would. The only time I would have been at the beach was during the day. I don't go at night, so it's not safe to go out at night.
There's a lot of weird shit at nighttime.
It's a lot of weird shit at nighttime.
What's another weird thing you've seen at the beach of recent?
Well, I think I talked about it a little bit the other day. The Haitians that were coming in on the raft had exploded, and they had wrapped a bubble, wrapped it up with the.
And you saw that go down in real time.
They were literally walking up as I was walking past.
Did you say hello?
I go, "You guys okay?" And they just kept going. Like, "You made it."
They big leagued you. They didn't say a
Better
word?
now.
Yeah, they escaped to whatever hell they were in, whatever asylum they were in. They're here now.
Wow.
So
in real time.
But it was literally, there was just a bubble of air holding what was left of this raft, and they had the rope that was on it tied at the bottom. 2 people.
You always see some great shit too. Planets, fallen stars. Man, I remember at the beach seeing. I believe was it Venus? Well, what's the one? What's the one that gets really, 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 really bright?
Venus, morning
yeah.
star, evening star.
Good gosh, man, it's fucking gorgeous. I love that stuff, and it's so odd too. There are some people that live their life by the stars. They wake up and they go, "What's the constellations looking like out there? How bright is this? Oh shit, Venus is a little less light today. That means Bob's gonna kick me in the dick." They really kind of think.
Well, Thursday morning, actually, there was a Martian eclipse where the moon and Earth passed between Mars. The moon passed between Earth and Mars, and you actually lost part of Mars, and then you saw the big bright red as it came back through.
And I know you don't have an answer to this, but it's more kind of like a Google interview kind of a question. Why they pass by each other? What do they say to one another?
Probably high.
That's it?
Where's Uranus?
So they know exactly where Uranus is, Beckett.
Vickie rolls her eyes at Becky's joke, and then Beckett gives her a nudge on the
He's always
elbow
trying
like,
to get me in on it.
You heard that right? You heard that right?
that Uranus joke crushed, right? Joe Fontaine, very good stuff, brother. Thank you
Thanks,
very
guys.
much. Good luck this week. I hope you see some more 69 in.
I really don't.
I'm convinced that a school teacher consortium changed the name from Uranus to Uranus. That changed when I was in school. When I was really young, the planet was called Uranus, right?
Yeah.
And then as we got older, they don't pronounce it that way anymore. do they?
Uranus.
Now it's called Uranus.
I'm old school, dog. I've always heard and say Uranus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome, though. I mean, why would you want to change that? It's fun.
It's fantastic.
We need a little butthole on our planet.
Oh, dude.
Butthole, son.
Well, I think with that, with Beckett's parody, it might be time for some
Dennys Random Facts.
Oh, sweet Dennys does a great job just searching and hunting the internet, getting great factoids. We've learned a lot from a Dennys over the years. Vickie's our educator. She's in a grade all of his factoids. If she loves it, she gives him an A. If she hates it, she's going to fail his ass. Dennys, the floor is yours.
All right, so 1977 was the last time someone was executed with a guillotine in France. The very next day, Star Wars came out. That's how long they were using the guillotine.
1977, you said? Wow.
That was the last time they used the guillotine in France. It aired September 10th in France, the very next day after the guillotine execution. It aired earlier in the year in America. It aired in May.
Gosh, I love that factoid so much, only because you really...
That wasn't that long ago.
We don't realize a lot of bad shit was not that long ago.
No.
You know what I mean? We always think, oh, we've come so far. It wasn't that long ago, and we have come far on shit.
We have.
But holy shit, man. Guillotines in the 70s?
Oh, it's sad.
I actually think it's a testament to how far we've come that as so recently you can track back our grandfather or great-grandfather went through the craziest stuff you could ever think of.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's people alive today that could tell you fucked up stories.
Totally.
Just from society's norms.
Totally.
Vickie, what are your thoughts on that?
Was it a public execution?
It was
Do you know?
not.
It was not. Okay.
They didn't do. They outlawed the public's executions. That'd be a waste. Public sub.
Where shopping is not a pleasure.
Talk
my
about
God.
Hunger
God,
Games,
jeez.
right?
Where shopping leads to death.
That would be awful. Yeah, but they banned those earlier. It was like 1930.
It's like hurricane shelves.
Well, that's an A.
Yeah, that's good
random,
stuff.
right? Killing somebody with a guillotine.
I would rather go
1977.
guillotine than injection.
I wouldn't.
Because you've heard bad things sometimes happen with ejections. And guillotine, you don't have to worry about, it's done.
I don't know, man. I've always heard that story where you cut your head off and there's 7 seconds left where you're going, oh, fuck, I'm alive.
So,
I'm severed. Shit, this is terrible.
Not to get grim, but in this exact case, the guy they executed, they said he seemed to be alive for another 5 minutes after his head severed. They
5
said
minutes? I heard 7
5
seconds, dog.
The story I read today said he was alive for up to... Well, they said he was dead for sure, but his body continued to move for another 5 minutes.
That's half a WRMF commercial break.
It shook me when I read that. I go, oh, damn, that sucks.
Oh, my God.
I think that's why they stopped doing them, man.
Could you imagine having your head cut off and then for 5 full minutes you're going, I'm Beckett and I'm severed.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
they said
shit.
the blinking and the moving.
Please
Yeah.
don't let a bowling team walk by me. Or would you want that? Go out with a fucking strike.
I don't know.
I think you have like 7 more seconds, 2 more minutes, right? Like it's kind of fun. You could have like something planned that you could say. Yeah, I would have a joke that
I
you
don't
could
think-
say with 7 seconds
You would
left.
laugh.
I would laugh. You're kind of going out Scarface style.
Y'all looked at me like I was a sick fuck when I said, I hope a bowling team don't walk by, but would that really be the worst thing? You go out with a strike?
No, it's good.
I like it.
Titty. I don't know, man. I want to go on a winner.
I like it.
That was great. I give
right,
it an
It was
A.
good.
All right, so not to get political, because I'm not, but I want to talk a little bit about climate change. Because it's causing all sorts of problems on the planet, for sure. But this is kind of a problem that I don't think anyone predicted was happening. As the glaciers melt on Denali in Alaska, it's estimated that 66 tons of feces that has been left behind by mountain climbers is thawing as the area comes out of deep freeze. The Smithsonian magazine put it, that mountain of waste threatens to be unleashed as climate change warms the mountains, and it's going to drop poop into the oceans. 66 tons.
Damn.
It ain't right, man.
And it's all because people just leave it there while they're hiking on it.
Vickie, you look disgusted.
It is gross. That's what it's educational and gross.
Sometimes education's not pretty.
It's
I'm gonna give you a C for crappy.
nice. But yeah, what a weird problem, right? As it thaws, all the poop is now melting into the ocean. Now they're thinking it's going to toxic the water up.
It's a pretty gross factoid, Dennys.
All right, let me move on here. So
It's pretty fucked up.
it's messed up. Think about that when you're drinking your drinks with your ice in them.
With that said, time to do a shot.
Yeah,
How about
do a
that
shot.
Evian?
Everybody get a shot. you
Do
know.
you need some more, Vickie?
Yeah, mine's gone.
Oh, the cup's empty.
Vickie, we're so
Cup's
empty.
empty.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, I like it. I think we got
It's a holiday party.
We got 52 strong up in the
Turn.
chat room.
Well, so pour your drinks while you hear this. In the 19th century English, there was a word cover slut, which was a long coat or overcoat worn to hide a person's untidy or dirty clothes underneath. And they think that's where the term slut is derived from, meaning dirty or untidy. So instead of covering the slut, the people in the streets would just say, there's a slutty person, because they were wearing untidy underwear.
Denny, I never heard you talk so dirty.
Yeah, I hear ya. But they think that the term slut is derived from the term cover slut, which meant to cover up your underwear.
Beckett, I think, has a bone piece.
That's great. We have a lot of thanks to give for that. That's great.
Very, very, very carnal factoid. Denny.
Yeah, I'm
great.
just letting you guys know. But yeah, that's where they think the term slut comes from, because it's an untidy or dirty. And then it slowly has changed into describing a person of either gender.
I love a good slut fact. It's an A.
The cover slut.
Were you ever called that as an insult in high school?
No.
No.
No, that wouldn't have come to my early 30s.
Girls. Girls go off the chart for the C word. That's where girls usually get really angry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
girls
That's
get
not
really
very
angry
nice.
with that.
Yeah, it's mean to call
It's
someone.
yeah,
It's mean to call anybody any names.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you called your girlfriend dick face. I don't think she'll like that either.
Yeah.
Butthole.
If somebody, if I gotta,
It's hard not to.
if I gotta do a real fight with somebody, let's say, for example,
you backed into my car, I'm like, you butthole.
there's no way I don't start laughing.
Okay,
I'm going, oh my
that's
god, this guy called me a butthole. It's amazing.
It's not very mean.
I think it should bring people together. 'Cause it's such a, I don't know, butthole is always, when someone calls somebody a butthole in anger, I don't know, it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, it
it's
does.
so not mean.
It isn't. Yeah, you're right. That wouldn't be a word you would use to hurt someone's feelings. So we talk about deja vu a lot. So there's a
This
thing.
seems familiar.
It does. Well,
Did you do this before?
the opposite of deja vu is called jamais vu, which describes an odd feeling that something very familiar is actually completely new. It's the opposite of deja vu.
Just say that again.
It's the opposite. It describes that odd feeling that something very familiar is actually completely new.
Isn't that? Wait.
No, it's like, okay, I'm going to try to explain this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 50 First Dates.
It's like when you, okay, like when you just
What?
like say it's the first time you flossed your teeth, you're flossing your teeth, right? And all of you like, oh my God, I've never done this before, right? Because it's the opposite. So something that you do on the daily, all of a sudden you do it, and it's like, oh, I've never done this before, even though you
Yes.
have.
Is she close?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
All right.
It's a weird. It's way less than deja vu, but it's also similar to, which this is an old fact that I did, but deja rêve, which is kind of a premonition because it's experiencing something in real life that you've dreamt before, different from deja. It often gets confused with deja vu, but it's got its own term. If you've dreamed something and then experienced it in real life, is deja rêve or deja rêve.
I'm just like drop that in casual conversation. I was like, I'm experiencing a little deja Renee.
Jamais vu is that odd feeling that something very familiar is actually completely new, the opposite of deja vu.
And I'm not gonna lie, I love me some bilingual Denny's.
There you go.
The French, baby.
Not for us.
The French, very sexy.
They just beat England in the World Cup today.
Jeez.
Who wants to talk World Cup? 1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah.
We'll talk after.
I feel bad that England lost.
I know. we won't get into that, but Beckett came into the house today, kind of acting like Eeyore. Beckett's
Somber.
He's one of the most positive people I've ever met. He's always very happy, always got a smile. You kind of came in a little Eeyore, a little long face. Go, Beckett, what's wrong? Britain lost in soccer. I'm like, what the fuck? I was
didn't know
not
soccer-
expecting that. Yeah, I know. Denny.
I'm one of those few Americans that get really jazzed up by the World Cup. It's so much fun. Awkward silence.
That's the sound of no one agreeing with you.
There's got to be some people out there that think the World Cup's
You'll
fun.
get an email. You'll get an email. I'll forward it to you. All right, Dennis, give us a couple more. You're on fire, kid.
So we're talking coincidences. What do you think about this for a coincidence? John Wilkes Booth's brother saved the life of Abraham Lincoln's son.
Wait, hold on. Whoa.
So yeah, I'll run you through this, and it sounds like Vickie knows this tale, but Robert Todd Lincoln was saved from a gruesome train accident by the brother of the man who would later assassinate his father.
What the shit?
Robert Lincoln was traveling to D.C. and he was helping a couple across the train platform when he fell off. He couldn't get out of the way of the train, and Edwin Booth reached down, a stage actor, and pulled him out and saved his life. Only for that man's brother to later assassinate his father at a theater.
Damn, Dennys. Speaking of that truth about that Booth,
I mean, how weird of a coincidence is that?
That's fucking weird to me. To me, that's a mind-blowing fact.
It's just insane.
That's an A.
And that's why we do this segment right here, for that shit.
That's a mind-blowing fact that I didn't know, but if you Google it, I think you and I have talked about this. You Google the similarities between JFK and Lincoln and all the weird things with Lincoln. It's like there's like all kinds of crazy random facts.
I love when I find out that there's all these crazy stories you don't know about. And forgive me if you heard this on the KVJ show. I just found out back in 1980 there was a woman who she cheated in the Boston Marathon. It took them 8 days to figure out this woman cheated the Boston Marathon. Do you remember this when this happened, Vickie?
Not
Was
when
she
it
taking
happened,
Uber?
but I know you guys were talking about it the other day.
Isn't that crazy though? You
referenced it.
You lived during that time and you don't even remember that story. She did it twice. She did it at the New York Marathon, and then she did it at the Boston Marathon. And of course, back then there's no iPhone, so it was
She just jumped in at the end of the race and claimed the victory.
and that she won the New York race, or she had a great time in the New York race, and her job was so impressed with it, they offered to pay her ticket to go out to Boston, fly her out there, and she did the same shit. She took a subway to get to a certain point.
She did.
And they thought she won, and then they're interviewing her, and they go, "So how many intervals did you do?" I don't know. Everyone keeps asking about interviews. I don't. What's an interview? I don't even know what that is. She didn't know any running
She didn't know any of the
terms.
terminology.
And then she fucking decided to say, "I'm not gonna let anyone know I was lying." She doubled down and said she was, a victim. Oh, the women never get coverage. I'm doing this for women. Blah blah blah. And she said that she really won the race, and she didn't. I never knew that story.
It's insane.
That's an insane story to me too.
It's insane.
Well,
I
you
don't
want to hear
understand-
about the first time I made an A in PE?
Yeah.
Running the mile?
Oh my gosh.
My PE teacher miscounted. She thought I ran 4 laps and it was 3.
Oh,
And I took my A and ran off with it.
You gotta take those victories.
You Boston Marathon that shit.
I
did.
did.
You got it.
But that was her mistake. I didn't pretend.
That's fantastic.
Oh, but I gotta send you the link. You of all people would love this story. You gotta watch it. It's really good. There's an 8-minute little documentary about it. But to Dennys finding all these factoids, there are so many stories like that you have no idea about. I was alive when that happened. Never even heard of it.
It's weird, the ones that pass by, and then the ones that make news for you. It's just so odd.
Dennys is doing a service to the public.
I agree. I
You
think
know?
it's such a great segment.
And I say that as a joke, but also very seriously, because a lot of people, to your point, don't appreciate things, right? And then we get so caught up in things. And sometimes it's interesting just to find out random facts that's other super interesting.
Decapitate motherfuckers. It's in the 70s.
Yeah.
77, the same year Star Wars came out.
Say that's crazy.
That is crazy because we had the technology to make movies that looked like they took place in outer space.
But all of a sudden, the United States starts to do public beheadings like that. Of anybody who does those horrific crimes that we all hate, the bad ones, does that kind of deter anybody? Probably not. I think there's always going to be sick fucks that just do sick things.
Absolutely.
I think more people would do things. It's as sick as people have become. It's publicity.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's better to put them away and not let people know about them, and because we've talked about that with like documentaries.
We are.
Yeah.
We're in a time where copycat is a real thing.
And
There-
fame.
Fame,
And you can-
notoriety, all of it.
Relevance is the best word that I can have.
You're some dipshit that never got anything going on in their life. You're a loner. You're angry. You think the world's fucked you over, and now here's your chance to go out with a blaze of glory. You're finally gonna get your moment, even though it's horrific.
Yeah.
That's how some people are thinking.
100%.
It's terrible. Dude.
Yeah.
Wow, you wonder if if you think about it, somebody could get famous just by recreating famous murders.
That's
And
the
that
movie
would-
Copycat.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is the movie Copycat.
I always thought that was this creepy movie.
That is a creepy movie. So is The Bone Collector. Since we're on the topic.
You have to pronounce it like this. The Bone Collector.
If you're driving late in New York City, every time you go under one of those overpasses, you feel like you're in that movie, The Bone Collector.
There's a lot of sick people out there, Beckett, with a lot of sick things that they're doing. There's also a lot of great people. I never want to be one of those people that think everyone's a murderer, but I also don't want to be the person that, dang, you're never going to get stabbed. I mean, both of them,
You're right.
there's a balance between you being a woman, Vickie. It's different for you. You know, walking at nighttime is different than if a Beckett. I'm not saying Beckett can't go out there and get fucked over. Of course he can. But as a woman, it is different. Thoughts about that?
I just think like I have to be extra careful and put on an extra bitch face, and I always like hold my keys with the thing sticking out to let them know you come near me, I'm gonna stab you in the throat kind of thing.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So you just have to like kind of play it up a little bit.
You want to go out in the world knowing that's going to happen, but you also don't want to think everyone's a murderer too.
Right.
How do you deal with that?
Well, if you figure out they're not coming for you, you just smile.
And use your psychic abilities, probably. I'm sure you get gut feelings about people.
Oh, there's some people where I have literally I've had people walk into a restaurant and I'm like, we got to leave. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's wrong with him, but there's something wrong with him. We need to leave.
Well, I mean, they're just some people, and I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you have to judge a book by its cover. If a guy comes to my house knocking on my door covered in blood and roast beef, and he's got an axe in his hand, I'm gonna judge that cover.
Absolutely.
You gotta kind of to survive. Now, you don't want to judge a book by its cover to where it's matters of the heart stuff, and you're thinking everybody is this way.
If you think everybody,
exactly.
then you're starting to cross the line.
Exactly.
There's some people that immediately set off your warning switch, though. I was just walking the dog, and I walked by somebody, and I just got chills from them. And I've never seen them before. I've never seen them again. It was just a passing moment, but for some weird reason, for whatever reason, it gave me chills.
Your sex offender toggle switch was going off, going, yeah, he's probably got it. I bet you any money if we look at it, there's going to be some stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was picking up on the energy that was coming off of him.
It
Because that's
was.
something he does believe in is the energy.
It's true.
Look at you.
Was it orange?
It was
if it was orange, it was fake, bro.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I do want to tease in a couple minutes. We've got our local artist. You guys know I love this segment. Me and Dennys, we know how hard it is to get your music out there. We're musicians, we're songwriters, we do all that stuff. I know Ponton's jumping in the game of doing some singing. I really do believe.
Do you need a tambourine player?
Always, everyone
Tambourine,
needs a
that's a
tambourine
lot.
player. Vickie, everyone needs a tambourine player.
I'll do
Even
the
if
cowbell.
everyone needs a cowboy guy. But if you are a singer, songwriter, I really want to showcase songwriters. I want you to be the one that wrote the song and present something original to the people. I love that, Beckett. I get off on the original stuff, the new stuff,
Yeah.
stuff that's no one else has heard.
That new.
We got coming up in a few minutes. Her name is Nicole D'Agostino. I want to make sure I say that right. Nicole D'Agostino. The song's featuring Grace Field and Michael Province. It's a song called Lover. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. But thank you guys for sending me that stuff. I'm getting a lot of great submissions. Someone asked me, why don't you guys play hip-hop? It is not by any other reason because no one has sent me any hip-hop. If you're a rapper, I don't care. I hate techno, but this isn't about my own personal thing. Send me techno shit. I want to play all kinds of music to get that out there. Everyone deserves a chance to get their shit out there. So let me know. Send it at Jason KVJ. Jason Pennington KV. I don't know. Fucking email Dennys. Jason Pennington KVJ at gmail.com, or just send it to one of my social media. Let's do a little before we get into that. Would you rather?
Okay,
Love it.
wait a second.
Oh, Vickie.
Oh,
Ha.
Would you rather get 2 of your bones broken by a group of clowns every year for your birthday?
Oh,
so
geez.
you just know every year, and you don't know what bones they are, Denny. It could be your arm, could be your leg,
tibia, could be anyone.
Ooh.
dick bone. Although I think it's all. I don't think there's
Could
dick.
be the coccyx.
Could be the coccyx. Could be the coccyx. All right. Would you rather get 2 of your bones broken by a group of clowns every year on your birthday, or every 10 years on your birthday, you have to kidnap an elderly person just to scare them for about 7 hours?
Oh, jeez.
So exactly, it's terrible. Or every single year, you're getting just horrific bone-crushing pain 2 bones, Beckett, every fucking birthday. Have fun with those marathons.
Who's going first? Who's going
It's
first?
a pretty fucked up question.
Who's going first?
Vicky's so bothered by this.
Is this one of your fetishes coming up with these questions?
Maybe.
He's waited more than a year.
Vicky, like everything, I'm running out of ideas. I've been doing this for almost 20
They become
years.
more and more extreme.
It's getting fucking creepy.
Okay, I'm going for broken bones.
How bummed out, though, the night before your birthday. How shitty is that, Dennys?
It'd be terrible. I almost would tempted to take the elderly one.
But you have to be kind of like, they think it's not one of those situations where you let them know this is just a joke. For 6 hours, they think it's fucking hell and torture and they're being kidnapped. It's awful.
You can't make it like Make-A-Wish and like
No, you're acting like the guys from Scream. You have that kind of energy. You're scaring the fuck out of them.
Does the breaking the bone hurt, or it's broken? You're in a cast. You just have to deal with the fact that it's a broken
No,
bone.
Beckett, it tickles.
No, but you know what I mean.
No,
Like,
I
It
don't.
feels like
is he
a
like
broken
is he
bone.
slamming you with like a baseball bat like on
So
your arm?
for
or-
an hour on
Is he
your
getting
birthday, he's for the first 30 minutes, it's just him talking to you about the things he's gonna do.
Like he might not do it, but he probably
And then he
will.
starts to laugh like a maniac. Yeah, it's all the things. Do this. Would you
Why
rather?
do you always ask more questions so he has to ad lib more?
Because I like it. Because I like
keeps
it.
getting
Vicky's
so
so
much.
right.
Just answer the freaking
I like
question.
Stop angering me, Beckett. The deal will change.
I think I'm going elderly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna
I couldn't
have a
do it.
chainsaw right in their face.
Yeah,
Because
that's the kind of.
Yeah.
how long did you say the elderly has to last?
That's fucking.
7 hours, I think.
It's 7 hours of just awful.
So after 7 hours, I'm outside your rules, right?
After 7 hours, you
I can do whatever I want.
You drop them off, and you never speak.
Like you just got done off work.
You don't.
Then
you
I
don't,
can take them for
you,
like.
no. You don't get caught, and you can never speak at them again. They just have this
They get-
trauma.
Yeah, they get separated. Now you
Yeah,
never
there's
know who they
no there's no fixing.
No making it up to him.
No.
In
Kind
fact,
of
they
Life's are-
always.
kind of a
Life's
make it
are-
up to you kind of guy.
Lives are altered after would you rather,
I still
whether it's
do
your
that.
bones or old people.
I'd be like, "Welcome to hell." I would do that every hour. I'd remind them.
That's kind of what. Yeah. What would a psycho Denny's say?
I'd inject them with something. I'd be like, "You got 6 hours."
You can't touch them. You can't physically touch them.
Well,
You
I would do what I would, swing chains above
have-
their head.
yeah, it's a menacing kind of a thing. All right. Wow. I'm going bones, Vicky.
You're going bone.
I-
You
Man.
would never be able to exist. Every year, your bones would not be healed from the original.
Yeah, you're recovering for like 6-8 months.
You're never.
It would
and then
suck.
you're ready for the next
But
one.
psychologically, I could not live with going chainsaws. Going, yeah, welcome to hell. I couldn't live with that. I'd rather take the pain, man.
No. I'd forget
You're
after
so
5
cold.
years. 5 years, I'd forget about it.
Tauntaun, old people or bones?
I'm really high. I'm torturing old people.
Oh my! It's a cold fucking panel, Vicky.
We need to watch our backs.
That's the kind of shit you'd have to do. You have to really get into. Like Beckett, what's your menacing kind of a? I'm the old guy. Give me a taste of what you'd be.
If I was creepy,
Yeah, you're menacing me as that. You kidnapped me. Tell me something chilling.
Just do one of
I
your
think I would
pickup
be
lines.
more-
No. We're role playing and go menacing fuck.
I don't know what
No,
I do.
no, you gotta go into the role.
It's hard for
why
me.
have you done this,
It's
Beckett?
hard for me
Why?
to get into that kind of character.
Well, you better get there.
I don't
like
have a
clowns.
muse.
You better get there.
What's my muse?
Yeah, the muse is
You're not getting your bones broken. It's
By a clown.
yeah.
Yeah, keep in mind, it's by a group of clowns. So they're going honk honk, oh water in the face. They're doing all that crazy.
Yeah, the clown thing is kind of messed up. That kind of puts me over the edge. Is the fact that it's clowns.
You can't change it. You double down on old people. You're menacing them.
I love old people. I get to
I
hang
know
out with them
that's
more.
why it sucks.
Nobody wants it.
All right,
I know.
let's move on. Becky doesn't want to. I get it. It's most of I can make.
Not that kind of role play.
Would you rather get a face tattoo? Would you rather get now? When you get this face tattoo, you can't cover it up. You can't have a hat on. It's you out in public, doing cooler talk with this face tattoo.
All right.
It says, "I love cannibalism," or have all your teeth always look like they're rotting all out, and along with horrific breath. We're talking just methed out
Like you can
teeth.
see waves of heat coming out.
Going
Yeah.
cannibalism.
You're gonna go
Yeah, same
cannibalism.
here.
You could sell houses with that. You could make it work
With a tattoo?
with the cannibalism. I love cannibalism. You think you're gonna get deals still?
I think it's gonna the bad breath and the teeth is equally as bad.
Yeah, you're not gonna get deals with that.
You know me, I can explain away the cannibalism tattoo.
Okay, I'm a client. So Beckett, I want to buy your horse, but what's up with this cannibalism tattoo?
I do this
It's a little
podcast.
unsettling.
Exactly.
I do this podcast.
You cannot do the podcast. You cannot get out of it. With the podcast.
That's the stipulation.
No, that does not count. That does not count. Vickie,
I'm going tattoo.
Sweet Dennys,
I do tattoo. I changed it to cannonballism,
You can't
so
do-
people think I just like cannonballs.
you can't do it.
Really?
You got to keep it cannibalism.
All right, I'll do the cannonball.
You can make it into a dirty joke, you
Yeah.
know, on a date.
All right, I like to eat.
Yeah.
I like to eat
Apples
people.
and bananas. Yeah, well, you can make a joke about it.
All right, Ponton. Yeah, all right, we're all going cannibal.
Yeah.
You'd be like, in
Yeah.
a past life, I was a cannibal. I've changed.
I hear you, man. Face tat, so permanent.
What are you doing, Bird?
I'm going tat.
Yeah.
I'm wacky. I'm on the radio. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It is a good excuse.
Would you rather eliminate this? This one is hard for me to write, by the way. Would you rather? Now, there's no violence. It's just a button, and they all just disappear. We don't know what happened to them.
Okay.
Eliminate all dogs and cats from planet Earth,
No.
or lose one of your lose one of your favorite family members to a serial killer. One of the one that you love, you rely on. They're a rock for you. I mean, are we
pillar.
are we deleting cats and dogs, or
No.
are we?
You can't do it.
You're gonna let one of your. We're talking the core, mom, dad, like in that.
It would be selfish of me.
Vickie.
I don't like any of my relatives.
Vickie.
Everyone else would hate me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They would know about it?
Everyone knows. You walk down the
Jeez.
street.
Yeah, you can't
"Dog
take that
killer."
heat. You can't take that heat.
But also, everyone also knows you killed your mom. Mom killer. Same thing with the other one. Or if you decided to kill a family member, the public knows what you did, and there's no.
The public would understand, I think. They would be more upset about the dogs and cats.
They would. I think you're
Because
right.
it would
though.
affect them.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would. You're right. I think you do have to kill your loved one,
Yeah, it's
or have
true.
a serial killer kill your loved one. But that's rough.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, like the last statement from your loved one is, "Wow, my family member could have saved me, but they decided to let the serial killer kill me." Thanks, Dennys. That's their last.
Yeah,
words.
I hear you.
But
All right.
does the public know we had to make that tough choice?
They no. The public always sees you as the biggest dick face on the planet.
Because you'd kind of be canonized if you made that tough choice.
Oh.
You'd be a celebrity.
You don't get dog. This is what you rather. All right, good job, guys. That was tough
That was
for
a hard
everybody.
round.
That was hard.
Got sweat beads.
Good. Supposed to make you think, Dennys.
Well,
All right, let's get let's change tempos here. Let's do our local songwriter. This is Nicole D'Agostino featuring Grace Field and Michael Province. This is called A Lover. Now, this song, Michael, he does the violin. The people that he's one of the guys featured on there. He was featured on Oprah when he was 13 years old. So
Wow.
this son of a gun knows how to play the violin.
Wow.
wow.
Grace Field, she's a vocalist and piano player from New York, but Nicole is the one that's from here. She's the one that wrote that song, the song you're about to hear. Very nice. Been talking with her. Nicole, here's your song. It's called The Lover. Thank you guys for listening to Weird and Whatever podcast. If you are a songwriter, send it to me. We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
I've got to let him go. Got to move on. I can't get stuck here in the middle of what was and what is meant to be. I have a lover from the past. He stays with me in the present. I can't get these memories of our times together out of my head. He's still in my heart. I'm in limbo, I'm in love. I'm in limbo, I'm in love. But I'm stuck here in the inside out. He makes my day, he leads the way into the future. I